Hi, Doug Masnaghetti here with another video, this one on Rocky Racoon by the Beatles. Don't have a lot to say about this song. It's a pretty straightforward story about a love triangle and the gunfight that results. It was written mainly, my understanding is, by Paul McCartney, and it was released in 1968 on their White Album. It's a great song for a beginner. You can strum through it. I would put it sort of in an intermediate category if you go to the open hand strumming, which is the way I'm going to teach it, and you're using your thumb to pick off bass strings just prior to the strum. So with this lesson is organized like all my other lessons. First this little pontification that I do, then a cover, and then the actual guitar lesson itself. So obviously you'll skip around to whatever is relevant to you. And without further ado, on we go to the cover.
Out in the Black Hills of Dakota, there lived a young boy by the name of Rocky Racoon. One day his woman ran off with another guy, hit young Rocky in the eye. Rocky didn't like that, said, I'm gonna get that boy. So one day he walked into town, booked himself a room in the local saloon. Rocky Racoon checked into his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. Rocky had come equipped with a gun to shoot down the man of his rival. His rival, it seemed, had broken his dreams by stealing the girl of his fancy. Her name was McGill, and she called herself Nell, but everyone knew her as Nancy. Now she and her man, who called himself Dan, were staying at the next room of the hoedown. Well, Rocky burst in and grinning a grin. He said, Danny boy, this here is a showdown. Yeah. But Danny was hot, and he drew fast and sharp, and Rocky collapsed in the corner. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The doctor came in, stinking of gin, and proceeded to lie on the table. He said, Rocky, a match, a match. Rock said, Doc, it's only a scratch. And I'll be better, Doc, I'll be better just as soon as I'm able. Well, Rocky Racoon, he went back in his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. But Gideon checked out, and he left him no doubt to help with Rocky's revival. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, Rocky Racoon by the Beatles. This song's played in standard tuning. I do it with the open hand. I think it sounds truest to the studio version on the White Album using the open hand. So the song starts out with a A minor 7, which is just cover the 4th and the 3rd string with your middle finger and your ring finger on the 2nd fret. Your index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. and you start with a thumb stroke of the 5th string here, and then give 3 brushes. I do 3 downward brushes, and I'm using multiple fingers. I guess it's mainly these 3 fingers that are actually contacting the strings. Now, one of the things about this song is it's really easy to tend to play it fast. At least I have a problem doing that. And I think the tempo, when you're singing it, it is kind of important to stay slower on the tempo. I think the whole song just comes off a whole lot better if you don't play it too fast. So just be mindful of that. You might want to listen to the original, because when I started learning this song, I did go back and listen. I was kind of taken aback as to really how slow the tempo is on the song, and realized that I was playing it way too fast. And when I slowed it down, it just sounds a heck of a lot better. So anyway, you start out with an A minor 7 chord, and you do the Somewhere in the Black Hills of Dakota lived a young boy by the name of Rocky Racoon. Just while you're doing that pattern. This pattern doesn't change much throughout this song. The next chord is a D chord, and you hit the 4th string with your thumb between the 3 down strokes. And just to remind those beginners out there, your D chord is your index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And you should not play the open E with your D chord, of course. It doesn't fit in. And so then he does the strumming pattern with using the 4th string as the bass note, then down to a G, and a G, a little out of tune here, I think. The G chord again for the beginner, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and your pinky covering the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And here you're going to use the 6th string as your bass note. And then you go to a C chord. And you walk it down. So you start with this C. And the C, again for beginners, your index covers the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Your middle finger is on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And your ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And you use the 5th string as your bass note, and you only do that once, and you remove your ring finger and take your middle finger off the 4th string and place it on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Whoops. All right, so let me that's what it sounds like. And then back to your A minor 7. D, G, C, whatever that chord is. And I think the tempo is about like that. A Rocky Racoon checked into his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. Rocky had come, and so on. Now, there's a little sort of interlude piece where he just does the do, and you don't know, you got to kind of feel your way into that. It's the same chord progression, except I handle the strumming differently. It starts with the A minor 7 again. So I'm just pinching my index finger and my thumb together like I'm holding a pick, really, and I'm just doing a little bit of shuffle on the... And then he moves back into the bass stroking and the strumming. So if you're having trouble, hitting those bass notes and keeping your strum pattern consistent, just slow it way down and, just walk through it really slowly. Just try to get your muscle memory, to lock in on these positions. Over time, if you slow it down and play it slowly through, a few times through the course of a week, you should also mix in then some normal speed playing, even if you are missing notes, just to remind yourself of what it's going to be like to try to develop the pattern at faster speed. But again, the power of slow speed playing is quite impressive. I don't have, I'm not a particularly coordinated. I don't have great fine motor skills, and so it takes me a long time really to learn a song. So if I can do it, you can do it. And sorry to prattle on about that, but just wanted to give a little advice, and hope you guys have fun trying to learn the song.